Rise and shine, everyone. 6:01 here on your Monday morning. Brand new week kicking off here. Jason and Alicia with you. Hope everybody had a wonderful 4th of July holiday.
Yeah, it's back to work, though, on this Monday morning. John, happy Monday.
It is 69 degrees out there right now. Dew points in the 60s. There are more bugs out there right now. It's quiet. The winds are pretty calm. It feels more like summer. Now it's a little bit cooler in Brainerd and Grand Rapids. It actually cooled down because of clear conditions, and there's a little bit of patchy fog up there if you guys are leaving north of the Brainerd stretch right now. Cloud cover typically keeps you fog free because it doesn't allow your temperature to really drop. That's why it's warmer. That's it. A couple clouds, sprinkles near La Crosse, Eau Claire. Otherwise, today's a mainly dry day. We're going to settle into a quiet period. That doesn't mean it can't rain, but 1 to 4, 1 to 5 p.m. during the peak heating hours, you could see these isolated thunderstorms, although most of us actually miss out on these. So temperatures nearing 80 and a quiet day today. Cece?
Good morning. Right now, roads pretty quiet still as of 6:02. Kind of similar to last Thursday, Friday. Maybe some of you are still off work this morning, but just a heads up if you're headed out right now. Heads up if you take Highway 41 too. In both directions you see here, the road is closed between Chestnut Boulevard and East 1st Street. That's down in Chaska. MnDOT says to follow the detour signs they put out there. Things look closed now, but work officially starts at 7 and goes until the end of the month. There's also still flooding along stretches of Highway 41, so a lot happening there. I know a lot of people have been staying on 169 to avoid this, but again, also follow the detours out there. Alicia.
All right, good reminder. Cece, thank you. We are following a breaking situation out of Minneapolis. Police are on the scene right now outside of a bar downtown.
Yeah, in the last 3 hours, we confirmed they're investigating a shooting. So here's a look at the area we're talking about. It's Augie's Bourbon Street Cabaret on Hennepin Avenue. Let's check in with Audrey Russo, who's working to find out more about the investigation. Audrey, what do you know?
Yeah, Jason, Alicia, you can see things are pretty calm outside at Augie's right now. The scene has cleared. We've been making phone calls and sending emails to police, and actually just 2 minutes ago, I received an email from Minneapolis police with more details about exactly what happened here. The initial 911 calls came in just after 2 o'clock. Take a look at this video. This is what our cameras captured at 3. Minneapolis police tell us that officers from the 1st Precinct responded to the location around 2 a.m. and when they arrived, they saw an adult male in his 20s with potentially life-threatening gunshot wounds, a second adult male in his 20s also with potentially life-threatening gunshot wounds, and a female in her 30s who was not as badly injured. However, all 3 of them were transported to Hennepin Healthcare. Now, police say that preliminary information indicates that there was some kind of fight that then escalated to gunfire, with shots being fired in the presence of a crowd. Now, it's unclear whether or not they were fired directly into the crowd, exactly how this all went down and what caused it, but that's what we do know. We know 3 people were shot, 2 of them with potentially life-threatening injuries out here in front of Augie's. Now, again, these are details that have just come in. We're going to continue to press to figure out exactly what happened, maybe what led up to that altercation. But for now, Jason and Alicia, that's what we know.
All right, Audrey Russo with the latest from downtown Minneapolis. Thank you. We're also working to get an update from police about another shooting in Minneapolis. This one left a 17-year-old with potentially life-threatening injuries. The gunfire broke out around 8:30 near the intersection of 27th Street East and Nicollet Avenue in the Whittier neighborhood. Police say officers found the teen boy with gunshot wounds and he was rushed to the hospital. Investigators say early information shows the fight escalated into a shooting. So far, there have been no arrests. The 4th of July holiday is consistently one of the deadliest on Minnesota roads. And this past weekend, State Patrol reported several crashes across the metro.
Unfortunately, more than one were deadly. Michelle Beck joins us live from Big Lake, where memorial is growing for 2 teenagers. Good morning, Michelle.
And guys, it's really a sad scene right here. I want to show you the memorial. Just at the base of the tree, you can see the bark has been totally ripped apart here. Just beside that, or just below that tree at the base, is 2 crosses, one saying Tony, the other just right next to it. Tony's friend, Donovan, right here, all stamped with the date of their death. Really taken too soon. We also know a 3rd teen is seriously hurt. Minnesota State Patrol says early Saturday morning, a police officer saw a car going over the speed limit. The officer turned around to pull the car over, but it had already rolled over and hit a tree by the time the officer caught up to it. According to State Patrol, Donovan Goebel and Tony Kreiner, both just 17 years old, died. Another 17-year-old, Charles Gabrelsic, is at the hospital. All three boys are from Elk River, and as we learned from his family, Tony was going to be a senior at Elk River High. And guys, we'll hear from Tony's brother coming up in the next 30 minutes. As we also know, the investigation is continuing. State Patrol at this time says they don't know if alcohol was a factor in this crash, but they can say at this time that all three boys were wearing their seatbelts. Guys, back to you.
Our hearts go out to their families in that community. All right, Michelle Beck reporting live. Thank you. This morning, another bright future cut short after a car crash. Early Saturday morning, Minnesota Vikings rookie cornerback Kyrie Jackson died in a crash in Maryland. Investigators say Jackson was a passenger in a Dodge Charger when another car hit them while attempting to change lanes. The Charger then went off the road and hit multiple tree stumps. Jackson and one of his high school teammates died at the scene. Their other teammate died at the hospital. Investigators say they believe alcohol may have played a role in this crash. Coming up in 30 minutes, we're going to hear from their former coach and the Vikings reacting to this sudden and heartbreaking loss.
Well, taking a live look from Texas this morning at 6:07. In just the last 2 hours, Hurricane Beryl made landfall along the Gulf Coast as a Category 1 storm. You can see the rain being whipped around by wind at that Buc-ee's there. Gage Golding joins us from the coast.
Here on Matagorda, the tropical storm force winds are starting to pick up as we were talking about all day. It's finally starting to move into this area. This is where we are expecting to at least see the eye wall pass over, if not have Beryl make landfall as a hurricane. That is the current updates that we're looking at. One thing that we haven't really seen so far is any storm surge. Yeah, you can see some on the side of the roads. There are some areas where there's ponding water. That's not storm surge, but this is an area where we do expect to see upwards of about 6 feet of storm surge. Beryl still quite a ways away and still has some strengthening to do. At this point, expecting a Category 1 storm, but we'll just have to wait and see exactly what Beryl has to bring for us. I'm reporting in Matagorda. Gage Golding, back to you.
At 6:08 here on your Monday. Now the latest in the 2024 election. Members of Congress returned to Capitol Hill this morning, which means Democrats will be able to discuss concerns over President Joe Biden's candidacy face to face. Now on the campaign trail over the weekend, Biden insisted that he's staying in the race. But now nearly a dozen Democrats are calling on him to step aside, including Minnesota Representative Angie Craig. She says she has great respect for him, but does not believe he can effectively campaign and win against Donald Trump. Still, Biden's campaign is working to convince the public he is capable of leading the country for 4 more years.
You know, I've been doing this a long time, and I, honest to God, have never more optimistic about America's future if we stick together. I really mean it.
Biden will host world leaders in Washington, D.C. for the NATO summit tomorrow, where his candidacy is expected to be a big topic of conversation.
First-time homebuyers are about to gain access to more help from the state. Just after lunch today, Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan is announcing $150 million in down payment assistance loans for first-generation homebuyers, meaning those who have never bought a home and whose parents have not either. They say this will help 4,500 people buy their first home. Tonight, Lionel Lake City Council is expected to vote through a moratorium for land, delaying the controversial Medina Lakes project. The city argues residents are concerned about traffic with the 156-acre development, but developers believe the decision is racially motivated. They say they will decide next steps, including a possible lawsuit, after tonight's meeting.